Yes. I mean, you got all dressed up. This time, call the meeting to order. There's no one offering invocation, just invite everyone to take a moment, offer any thoughts or prayers that they may have. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any changes to the agenda this evening?
No. I move to approve the agenda.
Motion. Second, it's been moved by Commissioner Wynn, second by Commissioner Hutchinson to approve the agenda. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to public comments, this would be a time when citizens are encouraged to speak publicly. We would request that you come to the podium, state your name and address. Please speak respectfully and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Anyone from the public that would like to speak? Moving on to the action agenda, the minutes of the April 17th, 2024 meeting.
I move to approve the minutes of April 17th, 2024.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Jackson, second by Commissioner Hash to approve the minutes of the April 17th, 2024 meeting. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to appropriation ordinance number 8.
Move to approve appropriation ordinance number 8.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hutchinson, second by Commissioner Wentz to approve appropriation ordinance number 8. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to resolution 2024-2174, KDOT Transportation Alternative Grant.
Mayor and Commissioners, we have an opportunity to submit a full application for the 2024 round of KDOT Transportation Alternative Funding. And this would be a project, or the project that's before you being proposed would be on the map in your agenda packet. It shows in the red lines some connectivity between the Concordia Middle School and Concordia Elementary School, which also includes sidewalks to connect from Doster Street back toward Valley Street, where the existing sidewalks stop on the north side of 6th Street. It would include new pedestrian crosswalks crossing 6th Street or K9 Highway, which would connect the middle school pedestrian traffic to those on the north side of the highway. Very much needed when we observe students trying to cross that area now that the new middle school is open, especially with lots of semi-truck traffic coming through there. It would also provide a new pedestrian crossing on 7th Street, which we also see a lot of students crossing there to get to the sidewalks on the south side of 7th Street. Would replace sidewalks and add sidewalks along 7th Street over to Cloud Street, which is where the sports complex is. Finish out some sidewalks along, providing connectivity along the streets to Cloud Village, as well as along the sports complex side. And then add another pedestrian crosswalk between the sports complex and the elementary school, where students currently cross with a painted crosswalk there. These new crosswalks would have the modern, it's like a fluorescent yellow or green diamond sign with pedestrian crossing signage, as well as a bright strobe light. So if you see students that are getting ready to cross, they'll push a button, the strobe light will flash, will help alert drivers that their students getting ready to cross there. So it won't be a full stoplight, but it would be that flashing strobe light. We first saw those, I remember going to a swim meet in York, Nebraska several years ago. I'd never seen them before, but they really do capture drivers' attention, which I think would be great in all these locations where there is pretty heavy traffic, heavy pedestrian traffic. We've submitted a preliminary round to KDOT with the help of consultant Benish that again has provide that preliminary consulting services for free to us. And KDOT said we made it past the first round, so we were invited to submit the full round of funding. In order to do that, we need to have a resolution of support for this. We did have the project, had some review done by USB 333 administration, including the principal Curtis Newton over there, and he is supportive of this. Kelly Strubing's here. Kelly, you can add any comments that you might have here when we go through. The project is estimated to cost a little over $1 million for design and construction. That design and construction and inspection would be included in that 100% funding through this grant if we were awarded. There is an estimated cost of up to $24,000 in right-of-way or easement acquisition. We wouldn't anticipate that any of that would be needed to actually get additional right-of-way or easement in a permanent setting for those sidewalks, but we may need some for temporary construction access. The $24,000, it would be at the high end if we use Finish as a consultant to go and negotiate with property owners on our behalf. If we did it ourselves, we can drop that number down significantly. Again, this project would be probably awarded such for this year, but design would occur in 2025, construction in 2026. So if we did need to budget for that right-of-way and easement acquisition, we could budget for that within the 2025 capital improvement project. It wouldn't have to come out of this year's budget, so we would have some time there. We do need some letters of support, and we've begun to request those letters of support. Both the school district as well as parent-teacher organizations, any local businesses in the area, as well as any residents that want to see this project come to fruition. Those letters of support would be needed by May 10th. And then the full application is due on May 17th, so it is coming up rather quickly. So tonight we'd ask for your support and approval of this resolution so that we can use that with our application to KDOT for 100% funding for design, construction, and inspection of this sidewalk project, transportation alternative sidewalk project. Kelly, do you have anything to add?
I just kind of want to echo the safety concerns we face with pickup and drop off. We do have a lot of foot traffic, and walking in, bicycle. The highway is a huge concern. You know, the strobe light, would be very nice to have. Just, it's, once you get basically to the middle school, there's really not a great, method of accessing the school. So this would be a designated route that I think would really enhance the safety, for our students and families. So.
I think it complements the work that's been done at the middle school to improve that, as well as the recent mill and overlay that we did with the East 6th Street traffic way there last year. And then the work that's recently been done at Cloud Village to improve that connectivity as well. So those things are helpful. Are there any questions?
The blue is existing sidewalks and green is what?
The blue's existing sidewalks, the green would be future sidewalks if we wanted to plan like a phase 2 to the project.
That would be phase
sometime in the
2.
future,
Okay.
yeah.
And then what's the reason for, is it because of the existing sidewalk for the sidewalks being on the east side of 7th, or is that so that the elementary school students wouldn't have to cross 7th Street? Or, yeah, sorry, on the south, they're on the south side. That's where some existing is, and then.
Yes, it's some existing sidewalks are there, so that's where the existing pattern of traffic is, and then that helps us to better connect with Cloud Village as well. And there is a pedestrian bridge along 7th Street. And in this proposal would be to take out that bridge and to extend the storm box a little bit further. So it wouldn't feel like it was a bridge connectivity. It would be an actual storm box, an actual ground level sidewalk.
A question I had, and any benefit of having a sidewalk that would be on the east side of Cloud Street, along Razor Field? If that's Razor Field, I don't.
So Razor Field would be on the north side of 7th, on the west side of Cloud Street. Would be where Razor Field is.
It's not the east side, sorry, the west side of Cloud Street, towards the east of the eastern boundary of Razor Field. If we're wanting to increase access to sports complex and middle school, elementary school, is there any benefit to having any sidewalk along the east side of Razor Field, the west side of Cloud Street?
So that would provide connectivity seemingly from businesses to that area.
The problem with that, Chuck, for something to think about, that's the only parking for Razor Field,
It's along that,
is all
okay.
on the east side. So everything else would have to go to the street if you put a sidewalk along the east side, 26 and 7.
I think the intent here with this would be to connect existing sidewalk networks from existing residential areas to other residential areas, to other public areas, or to schools. And so I don't see that one being as much benefit at this point in time. If future development occurred there, that may be the time to put that in here. But as far as this project's focused to connect those residential areas, this would be the route that could be seen right now.
So what is it in by on the west side of Cloud Street before it gets to the school?
So our initial proposal with Finish was to have the sidewalk go on the south side of Seventh Street and then have the new sidewalk be on the city's property on this east side of Cloud Street, so along the sports complex. We already own that property, so then that kind of lessened any right-of-way acquisition questions. Finish is proposing to add that segment of sidewalk on the west side of Cloud Street along Cloud Village to provide additional connectivity. So even though the work was done there on the west side of Cloud Street, it did not include sidewalks that were parallel to the street. So they see that as a service to the residents that live there to provide that. It could be eliminated in the scope. We could leave it in. They just thought, go ahead and ask for everything and just see if it would work. We could decide that maybe it's better to keep that sidewalk along the west side of Cloud Street and extend it all the way down to the elementary school as opposed to going on the east side where the sports complex is. That may require a change in the crosswalk then along Ninth Street in front of the elementary school. Right now, we wanted it to meet up with where the students were used to crossing the street, which was at that location on the east side of Cloud Street out the front door. So that there's still some room for some modification in that area if we were to go through the full design process, but right now it's just to show a concept and apply for those funds, but.
I have one thought for maybe future, I guess just mostly with regards to just the middle school and observation of the students walking currently. There is quite a few kids who will remain on the north side of 7th Street. And so to use the sidewalk on the other side, they'll have to cross the street 2 extra times to use the sidewalk. Because they're gonna leave the middle school, cross the street to go to the sidewalk, walk down to where they're going, cross again, and then go to wherever they're going, because they need to remain on that. I feel like a lot of the kids will just continue to walk in the grass or along that area, along Razor Field. And the same on the other direction from the middle school, there's an existing sidewalk there now, but I see kids, I mean, they stay on the path because otherwise they have to cross the street 2 times to get to the sidewalk on the other side when they're staying on that side. So it doesn't make sense to try to fight traffic, especially after school traffic, to cross 2 extra times if you're staying on that side. So they'll walk through there in their Crocs in the snow, lose their shoes, and they can't walk in the street because the street is too full. So I think even if it's in the future, ideally, because they're an older age group, there's a lot more walkers that are coming from 5th and 6th grade, and I think that will continue to be the trend if we use that school. I think that there would be some benefit to having sidewalks on both sides, so that they're not having to cross the street 2 extra times.
So you're observing quite a few kids staying on the north side of 7th Street, going
Right.
in both directions right now, and feel that because of where they're going or where they're coming from, they stay on that north side.
Right.
Right, okay.
I mean, ideally, I'd love to see it sooner than later, because if it's phase 2, it might be 2028 by the time that happens, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know what that would look like in here, but I really think that those middle schoolers will stay on that side regardless. I don't think they'll use the sidewalk even if it's there.
Would you support us going forward with this application and then taking some time over the next few weeks to study that a little bit more too, that traffic pattern a little bit more? And if we need to adjust it during design, maybe we adjust during design to stay on the north side? Would that be?
I think to stay within the timeline, you kind of have to do it that way.
Okay. Our other option would be to wait and study it another year and then see
No.
what's best. Yeah. No, okay.
No. Yeah.
I agree.
Then I would move to approve resolution 2024-2174.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hutchinson, second by Commissioner Wentz to approve resolution 2024-2174. Is there any further discussion? Excuse me, hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you very much, and we'll continue to take a look at those traffic patterns and see what would be best. So,
Yeah.
thank you.
some polling of some current 56. Moving on to mower purchase.
Mayor and Commissioners, before you is the request for a mower purchase for the Parks Department. As you recall, a couple meetings ago, we sent out bids to the 3 local dealers. 2 of them returned, neither one of them matched the specs. So we rejected those. Then we went back to the 2 that can apply or supply a front deck mower. So John Deere, and we had a conversation last time, John Deere's option. It is a, call it 1550. It's we have one right now that our snow blower's on. So this was being an addition, mower deck that fits onto that type of mower. So that's their version of front deck mower. And you can see in the packet of what their quote was. It took several phone calls and a lot of legwork from Roger to track down one available he could even quote. For him to order one would have been August, for this John Deere. He found one on a different site, and then he had to go some extra legwork to find the mower deck to fit it. So to me, that was a little bit of a concern for, especially for future maintenance. You know, trying to fix it, anything like that, if they're not that common. I don't know if they are, but there's not many out there that he could find to quote. So I found that a little bit alarming. Career mower had one on site, ready to go. We talked before, we already have 6, 7 others in our parks and sports complex department. So we're used to them. They are available, easy to work on. Careers have been tremendous of any breakdowns or anything like that. Fixing, especially on the warranty type stuff. So, and John Deere has been good under warranty too. So I mean, nothing against them, but as far as their version of the front deck mower, I did find that a little bit of a concern that they weren't that common and available. But you can see the difference in pricing, and I would recommend going ahead with the approval of the purchase of the Grasshopper from Career Mower Electric with the amount of $19,140.30. The equipment reserve fund.
Mr. Manu, how much did you have budgeted for this? Was it?
The last one we got, which was 2 years ago, was just over 15.
Okay.
So, and then the year before that was 13. So they were going up about 2,000 a year for the past several years.
For essentially the same mower.
Materials, all that stuff. And I didn't realize it before, or I didn't remember it, but the last one John Deere had put in a bid for 2 years ago, I think it was, whatever it was. It was this 1550, and their price then was 15,000. It was right around where the Grasshopper was, and you can see the price now for one. So.
The ones that you guys have now, you feel like work well for you, the Grasshoppers?
Yeah. Real reliable, like I said, any breakdown, anything like that, they've been great, but the maintenance of them is a lot easier to control and to work on quick fixes. And they've lasted. I think 7 years ago was the first one we got, and this is the one that had been replacing or taken in place of. Our plan is to keep that one on staff and use it more for nuisances that tear up the mowers a lot more. So using this one that's not as new for the nuisances and abatements.
With that one being available, and the price being lower and having the ability to get it serviced right away and locally makes, in my opinion, a huge difference, so.
And even our mechanic is commenting on that too. These are easier to work on.
Also,
Well, that's
I
word.
mean, we would definitely want to extend a thank you to Roger for going out and
Yeah.
trying to find all those parts and stuff. I know.
He really did put on a lot of legwork and a lot of homework trying to find something to even present us.
And, excuse me, you said something about the John Deere you have blade on it.
It's got a snow blower attachment on it right now. We use it for the sidewalks.
Any thought to someday getting the mower that for on it, just not to
We have one.
replace this one?
We have one and it's already in use. They haven't changed it yet. The biggest complaint, especially from my staff on this style of John Deere, you have to hold the pedal down with your foot hard the entire time.
Okay.
And usually by the time they're done mowing the park or something, their leg is
That's
leaking, wore out. But I mean, that's, you know, here and there, it's just part of the machinery, but
yeah.
that's more of a comfort preference, but
Get cruise control.
they have one, but when you start turning with those like cruise control, it'll buck you. So,
I move to approve the purchase of the Grasshopper 725 TD 72-inch mower for the Career Mower and Electric for $19,140.30.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Jackson, second by Commissioner Hash to approve the purchase of the Grasshopper 725 DT 72-inch mower from Career Mowing Electric for $19,140.30. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
thank you.
Managers report.
Mayor and Commissioners, I'm proud to report that the sign for the new St. Joseph subdivision is up at 11th and Highland. So thanks to the streets department, thanks to Wildside for getting that ready to go. That sign is intended to be one that is advertising the lots for sale and to get people excited about it. It's not intended to be the permanent one to announce the subdivision. We did not budget for a permanent sign. I don't anticipate putting one up. We don't make a practice of that generally in our subdivisions. So, but that sign is up, working out well. We did experience some breach of erosion control with that storm from last Thursday. We had a rain of about 2 inches in about 2 hours, so it was definitely a significant storm for us. Great chance to test our storm system, and I know Shane's gotten a chance to get familiar with the storm sewer system as we went out and checked on things. So that's been a good thing. Definitely thankful for the rain. Probably the other exciting thing that happened in the last couple of weeks is that on April 22nd, the governor signed Senate Bill 384, which is our ambulance attendance bill that we've been working on for several years. So big thanks to Senator Bowers, to Ashley for her work, to Chief Foss for his work on being able to get that done. The League of Kansas Municipalities, especially, they did a lot of legwork in Topeka for us. So that is what's helping us to get a little bit more flexibility in the rules and regulations related to ambulance attendant credentialing. So we can now, and we did have our first class of the drivers that are not EMS certified go through, and we got our waiver approved as well to get us bridge between now and July 1st. So we should be able to get more people down the road to the care that they need. So that's pretty exciting. But those are two main things that I had to share today. If there's any questions, happy to answer.
Staff reports.
So approximately 9:30 this morning, we believe the police department took a direct hit from lightning. Meanwhile, we were waiting for the generator to come on, and a part was fried by the lightning as well, so it killed our whole 911 center. So my staff were furiously trying to get 911 routed. They got them routed to Belleville, and then of course it killed all our phone lines and everything else. And we were able to get it on Everbridge and get it out to the public that we could still take 911 calls, but it would go directly to Belleville. As time went on, we were able to get the power back on. The Pralien did an awesome job of expediting stuff because they knew we were down, and our generator was down as well because the transformer right behind the police department was affected. So I can't say enough about their staff of getting right on. They had changed the transformer in under 20 minutes. So, and brought us back up. We did lose our hot water tank. It fried all the wires in the hot water tank, and we thought we had a pretty good fire going on at the police department, but it just happened to be all the insulation stuff melting off the hot water tank. They ordered a part for our generator. It should be up and going tomorrow to get us back in service, but unfortunately, we've taken a direct hit. Our generator was kind of worthless because we took a direct hit, but we're back up fully now. There's a lot of behind the scenes is KPI. We have to call them, get everything back up, get 911 rerouted back down here. So it was about 3 o'clock when we were able to get all this stuff rerouted back to our dispatch center and back up and going, but I think that's the only major things we have that are affected, so.
I was going to discuss budget dates. July 15th and July 17th. How do those look? for you?
So in July,
15th and 17th. The 15th, maybe at 3 o'clock like we've done in the past, and the 17th would be after the meeting in a study session if we have stuff remaining. That's like what we've done in the past, those similar times, so. We have to notify the county clerk by July 20th if we want to exceed R&R, so this way we would know and have it pretty much done by then.
Can you tell me the time again?
Well, it doesn't have to be, but 3 o'clock on July 15th and July 17th is a regular meeting, so just the study session after. the meeting. Awesome.
Great.
any other staff reports? Commissioner comments?
Nothing.
Today is May Day, so happy May Day to everybody. And I love that in Concordia, little kids bring May Day baskets around to each other, and it's the sweetest thing. And that did not really happen before we moved here. But I think it's really sweet.
Just wanna tell people that we have Change World Sunday, this coming Sunday, First United Methodist Church, but we will be working in the park. They, I think Nancy's been working with Chris. We're going to work on the butterfly garden and also paint shelter houses. We'll be also getting the flower pots ready for planting, so anybody's welcome to come. We'll feed you breakfast and lunch, and you work in between.
What time does that start?
That's a lot of fun, actually.
What time does that start?
At our church, at Methodist Church. So if you have kids that need community service, it's a good time to do.
Appreciate it. I don't have anything. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hutchinson, second by Commissioner Jackson to adjourn. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Meeting is adjourned.